My name is Naula Majorin Bole, a Ugandan correspondent on isinijurutv. And yes, today we bring to you the news from Uganda. And it's basically about the reopening of the lockdown, since we all know that Uganda is one of the countries that are still under lockdown, much as it's partial. So we have interviewed a number of people and they have their views. Some are hopeful that it will open as soon as possible, whereas some have lost hope. So we'll listen in to them. Thank you very much. Keep tuning in to isinijurutv.
ED, founder of Bwongo Consult. 2.5 years ago, before COVID, before life shut down like this, December was known to be a happy month. A month where everybody was rejoicing, happy, celebrating. But when COVID came, all this came to a standstill with the introduction of lockdown, with the introduction of SOPs, and we went to a small blackout.
By this moment, we would be so busy. Actually, our sector would be the busiest sector at this time. But already too much of COVID and everything that is happening, SOPs, we have not been working. We are really down. We have got so many of the challenges. If you to recall, some few years back, we used to be so busy by this time, organizing events. We were here, bookings, everything. But at the moment we are no longer working, we have lost so much.
December would be a month of joy. You would see musical concerts everywhere, comedians putting out shows, musicians putting out shows, the drama actors putting out shows, but all this has ceased to be there because of the introduction of the SOPs. We cannot go to these concerts. Number two, the introduction of the lockdown, of curfew. This curfew has now put everything to a standstill.
We have really lost so much, to the extent that most of our colleagues in the same industry are not even sustaining right now. They have thrown people out of the houses. They have thrown people. We are really expecting too much from the government, but we have not received it.
So if it was not because of curfew right now, everyone would be happy. The bars would be making money. There would be concerts. There would be a lot of happy moments. Even weddings. December is a month for weddings. But you go to a wedding and you're only not more than 50 people. I think that has created more of like a reduction in the happiness levels, because we know Uganda is the happiest country in the world. And if we are not doing these things, we are not living to what we are supposed to be, what we're defined as a country, we as the Pearl of Africa.
I remember the previous years, like 2 years back, yes, we used to have fun, like every festive season, like we have events, it's a Sunday, but at least there is traffic everywhere. But now, man, it's a Sunday, but I've moved from home to work and road is clean. And I also miss events, because I remember those days we used to have blankets on wines. We used to have so many events. We used to have like parties like till night. But now, even when someone invites you home for a lunch or a dinner, you have to be on your move by at least 7 p.m. so that you don't get to the roadblocks and stuff. So basically, I miss the fun we used to have.
The president comes out and promises us that in January, he's going to open.
But trust me, Jan is really very far.
I'm one of the people who are very excited for January. If the president opens, and I pray he opens, and I'm sure he's going to open.
I remember those days, man, we used to, go to like 5 clubs in one night. You see all cars packed like that Acacia Lane. You go to events, you go to Roast and Rhymes, and it's mad. And these guys like best artists come on stage like at midnight. So basically those events would even start at 9 in the night. But right now, we just humbly request our president to open us in January, because man, we miss out a lot. During the day we are working, but now of course you work as you have fun. So it's really boring going to bed at 8 p.m. It's so boring to go home at 6 because you try to hit the curfew and all that. So we humbly request the president to open us in January.
But what happens when he opens? There's going to be, of course, one excitement, too much excitement from everyone. Yes, we are opening. There's no lockdown. There's no curfew. We have the freedom. It's going to be a season, a time where you feel like you've been in jail and you've been set free.
Because this is the very time that we would be doing what? We would be doing so much, we would be so busy, because most of this, whenever it comes to festive season, we are always too busy. We are always having shows, events, and lots of everything.
However, I have a feeling, since this Omicron saga is on and off, I don't know, but if he opens, one, I can't wait to do late night party with friends. And I also can't wait to do have ceremonies where there are big people in numbers, no wearing masks and all that good. That mask thing is so annoying. Like you can't breathe. But yeah, basically, yeah, we're waiting. We hope for the best.
We missed like the concerts. People used to go and enjoy. Like you see, today is a weekend, but you cannot even travel, cannot even go to those concerts. So we miss the concerts. Of course, we miss the prayers. Like at the end of the year, we used to go to Namboli, but I think this year we will not go, so we miss a lot of things.
We are tired of begging. We are tired of being beggars. We have done enough of begging. Let the government just open us so that we can do naffe twekolere kyaffe nga ffe abantu.
I'm requesting the president to open us before even 2022, so that we can go and pray during night.
This is not going tomorrow. We can still get a way of how to live with it. Because now we've seen so many sectors are open and they are trying to live with it. We can be following the SOPs. We can organize an event according to the specified number that the government has put for us. We can put security, will be there. We are ready to follow all the measures, but when we are open.
But what does it mean to business owners? For example, the guys who run the bars, who run the cafes, who do these musical concerts. It's going to be a time for them to rebuild. But let me tell you one thing. This is not going to happen overnight. You are going to wait for this baby who has just been born to crawl, to cry, to fall down and rise. So businesses are not just going to pick up like, we are going to go, no. businesses are going to take some time. So maybe January is going to be a month of setting yourselves ready if we open up. Then February is going to be a month of taking off. Maybe starting March, May, in Easter, that's when I see businesses really getting up and picking up during after this curfew lockdown. So that most people are going to benefit through this. The guys I'm going to call the nightlife. So the nightlife is the business that is going to have the biggest impact when this lockdown or curfew is lifted.
We, people coming from the entertainment fraternity, we are really suffering. We are not doing so good. We are not okay totally. So we just can't wait for Jan, you know, when other people are working. That's the reason you're seeing now most of the people are going outside, they're organizing, they're booking them outside the country. Congo, our neighboring countries here around in East Africa, Tanzania, Sudan, Congo, people are going there.
I have always wanted to leave Uganda. I've always wanted to leave Uganda. It's one of my dreams. But home is home. Even when you leave Uganda, at least after like 2 weeks, you miss the mud, you miss the ghetto, you know, places, you miss seeing the Rolex guy there. So Uganda is home. Yes, so you go out and maybe for like a month and then come back.
Others are being booked in Dubai to go and have shows so that they can have something to sustain themselves. People are really suffering in our industry. We have been tortured. This is a serious torture because we've seen so many sectors already open, but our sector is really closed and you can't explain why it's still down. Yet even our neighbors are already open. Here in East Africa, Uganda is known to be the major entertainment hub, whereby everyone knows entertainment starts from Uganda. Uganda, we are most talented. Uganda, we have all the talent that it needs to hype up this region of East Africa. But at the moment, it's really so ashamed that we are not doing that. We are not open at the moment, and our neighbors are all functioning. My message to the government and to the people concerned, me as a person coming from this sector, entertainment world of Ugandan industry, I would urge the government to at least reduce on this thing, because what I'm sure of we can do while following the SOPs, you know, we can do with this while following because this thing is just not going tomorrow.
For me, I don't think you open us because since the Minister of Health, they are saying that the new wave of COVID-19 is here, so I don't think they will open us.
I do not think the bombings in Kampala will affect the curfew because for us who have grown up in Museveni's era, I believe that the biggest thing we have enjoyed is security. And I would not think those 2-3 bombings are a scare.
You never know because they hit places you less expect. But right now, I don't think it's a big factor that would really stop us from having the economy back to normal by January. Yeah, I don't think bombs and Omicrons are a big deal.
To my own view, I don't think the recent bombings will have something to do or to affect our sector. Why? Because I'm sure of that Uganda, our country, has the most protective security. We are so secure that our security is so serious on this issue.
The way Museveni said we are coming for you and they looked for them in Congo, that's where they went. May I think security is good. We have the best army. We have, even security has the biggest budget. So I think the decision to open up the economy will not be based on security, though they might borrow a few experts here and there talk about it. But I think the statistics of COVID and scientists are the ones that are going to influence the opening up of the country.
And trust me, there are so many areas where I would find maybe, for instance, Owino Market downtown there. They're all functioning, but they're trying to follow SOPs and we are into this situation of bombings. But such places are already open, where you should even be worried most than our place. Because now for us in our sector, we are ready to have the security, to have everything that is needed so that we can protect and go on with our events without even those bombings coming to affect us. So I don't think the recent bombings can make the government delay to open us, because I think there is another option the government can do to make us also start working like other people are working.
we are excited that lockdown is going to be lifted, but then we need to also prepare for it. We need to know, even Google search which businesses work well, that have worked well or that are going to work well after this the curfew is lifted. Yeah. So I think it's going to be a very happy moment, and we can celebrate. But on top of that, let's not forget to implement our SOPs, because COVID is still with us. With all these new variants coming up, we're not so sure of certain of our future. I actually always tell my friends that we are actually in autopilot. We are just there. We don't know where the life is going, but once the lockdown is, or the curfew is lifted, let us celebrate. Let us get back to work. I see a lot of employment going up because the people who lost their jobs due to lockdown are going to get their jobs back. Their life is going to lifestyles are going to improve, and you're going to see also an increase in the standards of living, because once the employment is reduced, or if people get jobs, mostly young people get jobs, I see that this is going to come with a lot of good impact on the economy and also on the lifestyles of individuals. I call upon everybody, I call upon every Ugandan to get ready for this time. This time is going to come when we say, yeah, we're back to normal. But I want to call upon everybody to start thinking of how they're going to benefit individually, by either starting a business, by either looking for a job, by either finding ways of increasing their income. Because they might open up, but if you don't have a source of income, then this is not going to be for you. So let's get ready, look for ways of how you can benefit from the opening up. Start thinking, look for ideas around, implement them, and then we can all live happily if we have a very good source of income, because at the end of the day, it's you and your loved ones, or you and your family. So rise up, start looking for what to do. When everything is lifted, then we can all win together. Because we win as an individual, we win as a community, we win as a country, and also we win as a continent.
It's now year two that we've not attended the night prayers. Of course, we missed the night prayers because of the lockdown. So we really need to be we really need the government to look into that and really open the churches. Like these holidays, for me as one, I used to go to Nambole Stadium. So this time, I will miss that one, of course. So
we have missed a lot as a country. We have missed so many opportunities. You see, when you are in prison, yeah, which we think we were in, when you're in jail, you miss out on so much. For example, Uganda's tourism sector went really down. The entertainment sector went really down. And Uganda's entertainment sector was one of the highest rising entertainment industries in Africa. And to see that Nigerians are there, to see that now Tanzanians are there, to see that now Kenyans are there, Uganda, we are left with a huge gap that we need to fill as a country. If you're in a and somebody has left you by 5 feet, you only don't give up. You only have to also increase your speed, increase your pace, which means you're not going to be the new normal is not going to be the new normal. It's not going to be anymore. It's going to be abnormal, because we have to fight as much as we can to put our economy there.
I'd like to compare the two seasons of festive season, the one for lockdown and the one we're in, and the one previously. Previously, we had all the time to do what we want, the party at night, do everything, move at any time we want. But right now, everything is limited because of the lockdown. The president promised to open us in January, but we're waiting. We don't know whether it will be possible, but all we pray he does so. And when we look at Kampala, we're regarded as the best in East Africa via nightlife. I love partying, but I would also wish to move out of Uganda to go to other countries for party. Like I've been to Kenya, I've been to Rwanda just for party. And I request and please request the president of Uganda to please open us, and we have our life back like we used to.
Before COVID, I used to do a lot of events, and currently we've been so affected that people are limiting the events, they are limiting the time. I'm a photographer by profession, but sometimes you end up getting gigs that are really estimated on time. Someone will tell you, we're just going to have a few minutes, a few hours shooting the event, so it limits the amount or the packages that we give in. So we would like to request the president to really help us open up in January, such that we can make some money. Yeah, the COVID has really affected us so badly, and the equipment is becoming so expensive, everything is becoming so expensive. We have families and we have other things, other projects to run on, but most of the projects have been cut down. You can't even now travel out of the country. Well, you can, but it's kind of so hard traveling out of the country to shoot other international events. And even within the country, you can't shoot beyond some time, you understand? And as well to feel the life, you know, the light vibes sometimes, because sometimes there are events where we are supposed to shoot till late, till around midnight, till morning, but they are limited. And when they are limited, still the money will be limited as well. So because the president will open us up and we make the nights. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, I think you've just heard from the we call them lifeists, we call them the happy people that within some of them within the capital city of Kampala, and we all know that Kampala is one of those cities in East Africa that people look up to for fun, for leisure and recreational facilities. So we hope and we anticipate that the opening shall really come to pass as soon as possible. Thank you for listening in. Thank you for watching Isinjuru TV. Marjorie Naula Bole. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.